Hi everyone! So welcome back to a review for the crash course. So this time I'm reviewing the crash course Artificial Intelligence. I think AI is something, totally into our lives, and I'm very glad to have the opportunity to learn artificial intelligence in this crash course way. And I just feel like it is the time, right? It's like everybody needs to understand AI to some degree and to uncover some basic knowledge about it. So, the first thing I want to talk about is our everyday life, such as the recommendation systems we get from social media platforms. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Netflix, or the navigation apps we use to avoid the traffic. And even in tools like the chatbots, such as ChatGPT or other digital assistants, we can use for different tasks. I feel it is the right time to understand AI. And this is important. First, AI is shaping our world, whether we notice it or not. I just feel it is inevitable, right? It becomes a fact. If we don't understand it, we might use it blindly without thinking about the consequences, both the good one or the bad one, and not only the consequences to others, but to ourselves. Also, I feel AI is not some kind of magic. It's a technology for sure. It is built by humans with rules, data, and limitations. If we can understand better, we can make smarter choices as users, and maybe even influence how it is built and used in the future. So it's kind of like a very good thing, right? We can make it better for the next generations as well. And the crash course video starts by talking about what AI is. And the simple idea is people want to make machines that can do things which you think require human intelligence, like recognizing a face, understanding language, or learning from past experience. So that definition makes sense, but I still feel it is a little bit tricky because the intelligence itself is harder to define. I feel humans are intelligent in so many different ways and good at something, but sometimes we are not, good at everything. And I feel we can learn. That is one very great quality we have. We can learn from experiences, from mistakes, from watching other people. And I don't think machines learn in quite the same way, but we try to design machines so that they can at least copy some of these abilities. One thing I like in this series is how it explains that AI is not one single thing. It's more like a collection of methods and ideas than to try to solve problems, different types of problems. For example, when I use Google Maps, the app uses the backend algorithm to predict the fastest route. But when I talk to a voice assistant like Siri or Alexa, that's another kind of AI techniques. One focused on understanding and generating language. So AI is not one robot brain. It's many different systems built for different purposes. And in the episode 2, we are introduced to one of the straightforward but the most powerful ideas in AI, supervised learning. This is probably the earliest type of machine learning to understand, right? That is super intuitive. The idea is kind of like a teacher and a student. The teacher gives a student examples with right answers, and the student learns to generalize from those examples. For instance, imagine I want to teach a computer how to recognize cats in photos. I give the computer thousands of pictures, some with cats labeled cat, and some without cat labeled not cat. Over time, the computer looks for patterns like whiskers, ears, or certain shapes of a cat. It learns to make a guess when it sees a new picture. It's called supervised because we human beings supervise the process by giving the correct answers during training. This is the same way we often learn as children. Think about learning to recognize fruits. If someone shows us an apple and says, "This is apple," then shows us an orange and says, "This is an orange." Over time, we learn to tell the difference. That's supervised learning in real life. I guess the power of the supervised learning is huge. It's behind things like spam filters, email, predicting house prices, or detecting diseases in some medical scans. But it has some limits. If the training data is biased or incomplete, the AI will make mistakes. If I only show the computer photos of black cats, it may fail to recognize a white cat as a cat. So supervised learning is easy to understand, but it also shows us why data quality matters so much in the AI systems. When I reflect on these first two episodes, I think the biggest takeaway is that AI is both very familiar and very strange at the same time. It is familiar because the learning process, like supervised learning, feels close to how humans learn with examples. But it is strange because machines don't really understand the way we do. There seems a big unknown part that we need more time to figure out step by step, especially considering the current advances in ChatGPT and other AI models, like the Sora 2, recently released. They can do great things and can help with many tasks today. However, we are improving those models, but we don't fully understand their superpower. We are making progress, and we assume that they are only finding mathematical patterns in data, and sometimes these patterns can surprise us or even mislead us. Anyway, the process is always ongoing and dynamic. So why do we need to understand AI? I think the main reason is it will definitely affect our daily decisions. The decision-making process. In other words, it will affect our lives, including what we watch, how we travel, even how we are judged in job applications or credit scores. If we only think of AI as a mysterious black box, we risk losing control. But if we learn the basics, like some, the ideas or the structure of the, a particular AI system, like a supervised learning, we still, have some confidence to know, hey, this is how it works, and maybe, we can point out some, limitations, or we can criticize where did this AI get its data? What might it be missing? Who benefits from the way it is designed? Personally, I find it exciting that AI is both a tool and a mirror. It is a tool that is simple to understand. I call it a mirror because it reflects our own choices. Like the data tells our story, and the biases tell our story. And by studying AI, I feel like I'm not only learning about the technology itself, but also about the humans, how we think, how we organize information, and what we have in history, what we have, in our knowledge base, and how we make decisions. There's a lot to learn. So to wrap up this first review for the episode 1 and 2, I'd see AI is not about robots taking over the world, but about systems learning from data in ways that mimic, in a very narrow sense, human intelligence, human reality. I think the understanding is always the first step, but we need to, keep this curiosity and critical thinking and keep learning. Yeah. So I'm already looking forward to the rest of reviews for other episodes, and I'm so glad to learn artificial intelligence via different platforms, such as the CrashCourse series. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So thank you for watching and listening, and see you next time. Bye.